You won't get an argument from us.
Nah. Primarily for Kane. You've served in the position of a stunt coordinator many times in films. Maybe you can explain what a stunt coordinator does. I mean, obviously coordinates the stunts, but is it the director comes to you and explains what he wants and you figure out how to do it, or what is it?
Yeah.
Let me answer part of it.
Okay.
He keeps my ass alive with the stunts that I do because he's the expert, the perfectionist, so that we don't get cuts on our finger like he did. But no, sincerely, that they coordinate all the stunts, but this is the person that keeps the rest of us alive on the set. The stunt coordinator, he's the general, is what it is. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I love being in that position because it's not only creative where you get to try and make a scene look as exciting as you possibly can, but still make it reasonably safe. And that one of the best talents as a stunt coordinator that you can possess is when a director, especially on some of the big action movies I've worked on, like Enemy of the State and Gone in 60 Seconds and Lethal Weapon and stuff, sometimes the directors get really crazy with what they want to shoot. And it becomes an art to saying, okay, that's great. Even though what they're coming up with, in your mind is impossible, somebody's gonna get killed, you can't say that because a lot of directors are very insecure. So you have to say, oh, that sounds great. And then the wheels start turning and you have to come up with a way to present it back to them that's safer, but not present it because it's safer. Say, that sounds good, but what if we did this? How would that look? In your mind, you're saying, we gotta do it this way because somebody will get killed, but you have to present it as if you're making the shot even more exciting. So it's kind of a tightrope that you walk in that way. But then when you're a stunt coordinator on a film, you also get to pick and choose the stunts that you want to do. So you often take the best stunts for yourself because you want to do them, And some of the scariest times are when you have a stunt that must be the actor or actress in the scene, and it's not a stunt that they're doing, but if something goes wrong, they could get seriously fucked up. And a good example of that is a movie I did with Adam Green called Frozen. And it's about 3 kids that get stuck on a chairlift for days. And there's no way down, it's too far to jump, all that. It's a pretty well done movie. And at the end of the movie, the only survivor is the girl. She's barely alive, she crawls through the snow, and Adam says, okay, what I want to do is have the actress laying in the road, on the icy road. It's snow everywhere, the road is icy, and I want a car to slide like it's going to hit her and then go around her. And she's not going to be looking. And I'm like, holy shit, it's downhill. I have to bring in a stunt guy to do it because I need to be there for safety watching. So the stunt driver has to come down an icy road. The actress is laying in the road looking the other direction. He has to slide this way and then correct and go around her and then stop. And very, very difficult move to do. So I brought one of my buddies named Merritt Yonka from LA to do the stunt. I used to work for him a lot on Nash Bridges, and he worked for me on films and stuff. But he did it perfectly, and it was just one of those things, man. Because if you have the actor that sees if something's going wrong and can get out of the way, it's a little bit easier. But when she is barely conscious and in her acting mode, doesn't want to look at the car, and you have to slide, and then, you got to make it look close, too, to make it look exciting. So that kind of stuff is some of the most nerve-wracking, but it's just, I love coordinating stunts because of the creativity.
Let me just say this in all seriousness, because I take stunts very seriously, because I was a stuntman in probably 40 films or so, never a stunt coordinator, and I'll tell you why, because I didn't want that kind of a responsibility. It's a tremendous amount of responsibility for safety and for the people that are working for you, the stunt guys, to get the right guy for the right jobs. Stunt coordinators have a tremendous amount of responsibility. Now, I'll tell you something that you don't know, Kane didn't mention it, you just don't get a job. You got to get a script. They shop out scripts. A film will shop out a script, the stunt coordinator will get the script, read the script, figure out where all the stunts are, put a budget on it, then they'll give the director the budget or the producers the budget, and they're gonna pretty much hold them to that budget. If he turns around and says, well, this budget for these stunts is gonna be $600,000, it better not be $600,001 because they're on his ass constantly. So it's his responsibility to get stunt guys that could do that particular stunt. I may be good with water, I'm no good with fire. I may not do over 3 stories as a fall, the most I'll do is 3 stories. I may be a great driver. So a stunt coordinator has to have a group of people that he can count on, so when he goes in and does that stunt, not only does he make the budget so he can get another job some other time, because whatever you do is gonna follow you in the next film. Because if you did a job and you stuck to your budget, nobody got hurt, everything went off, and they didn't have to shoot it 18 times, and that's the other thing that a director will tell the stunt coordinator. How many cameras do we need? We're gonna shoot this once, we're gonna shoot it twice. That was the reason I worked a lot, because usually I did stuff where it's 2 takes, maybe 3, and I got it right, didn't cost them a lot of money. So it's all about dollars and cents, one, and secondly, like I said, he's a great stunt coordinator. He does a great job. I would never want that responsibility. I'm always the low guy, I'll take the stunts, give me the stunts, I'll work and go home.
And like he's saying about the budget, that I didn't really get into, you have to look at a script and break down every stunt and then say, this is how much this is gonna cost. And then each individual stunt, and then you have to anticipate how many takes that could possibly do, because there's something the stunt coordinator does at the end of every shooting day on a film is give all the stunt players a stunt adjustment, which is extra money based on what you did that day. So the guy that flipped the car is gonna make a lot more that day than the guy that did a little football. So it's incredibly hard to try to anticipate what a stunt adjustment. So this guy's gonna fall down the stairs, so I'm gonna give him an extra 700 for the day falling down the stairs. Then you get to it and something happens and he has to go down 5 times. Now you can't just give him 700 because he did the stunt 5 times. And then you have to adjust that, give him more that day. Now you've got less for the rest of the film. You might have to try and adjust other things. And because you don't want to do stunt takes over and over, but sometimes it just happens. And especially with commercials. But those are shorter shoots, so it's easy to budget. But you know, you're going to shoot over 3 months and you got 100 stunts. It's very hard to budget. And like Steve says, you got to stick to that budget, or else those producers have no interest in hiring you to the next film because you went over. So it's hard to keep it safe, keep it exciting, and stay on budget.
Because they're going to tell you what they're shooting a film for. They'll say, we've got a film we're shooting, it's $3 million, give us a budget. You want to get the job, so they got to go in there with the right budget, It's a lot of responsibility. You got to give a stunt coordinator a lot of credit for that responsibility.
Yeah.